Hello, friends. Welcome. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. It's been, I don't know, like a month and a half. It's been a long time. We got pretty busy with the beavers and all sorts of other stuff, but I am excited to be back at it again with, well, not beavers, but we did rename Birmingham to Beaverburg, so I guess we have that going for us, which is nice. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. YouTube redid the stream dashboard, so I have no idea what's happening right now in terms of stream quality or anything like that, because apparently we can't just have things that work. We have to change them constantly. So thanks, YouTube, very much for that. Last time, I'm trying to remember exactly what we got done. I know we've had our little transport loops around here in both directions for quite a while, and I remember we put in the quote-unquote round the outside high speed, but it only ends up going all the way to Peoria here. Actually, the high speed might not even make it all the way up there. I'm not entirely sure, because I can't really trace all of the tracks. Okay, because this is high speed right here, right? It should be. Or does that only go between... I don't remember. It's been a very, very long time. It's been a very long time, and I've had so many things that I've had to take care of. Yeah, I mean, this has to be the high speed line. I don't know where the train is. So let's find out. Round the outside with the asterisk. Okay, we are sitting in Peoria, so I guess that is what that was. The design team needs to get paid. I mean, yeah, that's fine, but don't change what's not broken. I think, at least. I don't know. Feel free to disagree. That's always allowed. Peoria? I don't know. I'm not from the north. I don't know. I don't know how that's pronounced. At any rate, is game audio a little bit too loud for you guys? I haven't changed the audio settings, and I think I remember that we did have this a little bit quieter, but no. These are pretty laid-back, casual streams. Smaller crowd, but we do have a good time, so let me know if anything... Wow, 229 people waiting. Let me know if anything's bad, and I'll try to fix it. Everything's working great. Good to hear. Yeah, so it is 1963. We still have some steam locomotives driving around up here, because that is... that's what we always had done. Did we put big boys on these? I can't tell if that is a big boy. Oh, that's definitely a big boy. Okay. All right. I know we also talked about expanding this hub up here, and then maybe building another hub for this western half of the map. We got New York here, kind of in the default quote-unquote capital of this side of the map kind of scenario. We do have passenger rail going all the way back and forth. That is high-speed track. Looking pretty worse for wear. Very, very, very dirty Alco PA and some coaches there. And what does all this say? Billiards, dancing, and rollers. There you go. Sounds like a good Saturday night, if you're into that stuff. Yeah, I said we were going to have to redo this entire everything up here because this was just really terrible. And I don't think I'm wrong. But I'd like to avoid ripping all this out if we can. The passenger thing right here is just double-tracked until we get into New York. This is the only passenger platform, so this does have to be single-tracked here unless we want to completely redo everything. But this goes all the way up to Concord in the corner, I believe. Yes. That is the only other stop, and that is a high-speed line. I don't know what else we have running on this. I can't remember if we still have any of the Zephyrs or not, if it's all just PAs. That's a PA. Now, the train, quote-unquote, died in North America very slowly between the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Amtrak took over in 71, and then a whole bunch of stuff declined in the 70s and 80s. But, I don't know. It wasn't like an overnight thing. But no, we're train everywhere all the time because that is the most important thing in this playthrough is all trains until 2050, and then I get an achievement, and then I don't have to do it again. No, but we have a fun time with this. We need to expand to these other towns for passenger service. But the idea with this was we have corner-to-corner high speed. So we have Concord, go to New York City, and then I believe this one also goes to Beaverburg, and then to Vancouver. So that's, yeah, you know, that's corner-to-corner. We haven't really done anything over here. So we got West Covina, which It's like a suburb of Los Angeles. I don't know why that is its own city in the set of things for Transport Fever 2, but that's fine. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it. Those of you who don't know, there was a very, 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 very hyped up game called Concord in 2024 that launched and then just immediately failed. They pulled the plug on it. So, yes, we can do that. 2024 to 2024, you got it. That's a good one. Let's see, Vancouver wise, we're not supplying any. I guess this game calls this goods. We haven't started making those. At some point we need to. We do have a factory right here that can take some steel and then some plastic. We also have one up here that will do that. And then on, I think there was another one over. Yeah, that makes, oh, chemicals. I'm sorry. It just looks like plastic. I thought for sure there was another goods factory somewhere over here. Ah, it's up in Concord. Okay, well, you know what? That's not such a bad thing then if we can make steel up here. We do have a steel mill, and then the plastic, chemicals, whatever, would not be that hard to get done over here. Because goods are something that every city is basically going to want. Pretty sure we already have a train going to Vancouver that takes goods, or goods in the general term, not the deliverable in the game. So all we'd have to do is just make stuff here and then have a supply trunk going in that way. There's an American Vancouver. There is Vancouver, Washington, which is predictably across the border from Vancouver, Canada. I think there's a part of, because I had some friends who lived up there. I think there's a part of Canadian Vancouver, or something like that, that you can only get to from the American side, or there's like only a ferry or something. I'm not entirely sure. I'd love to go up to the Pacific Northwest at some point and see what's going on up there. Now, we are going to need to set up some sort of something. I'm not going to commit to doing this today necessarily, but just so that's on our radar. We also have a construction materials plant, but there is not a quarry up here. We're already using this quarry to go to this one, so I don't think that's going to be viable to expand. Our only other option for that is if the game decides that it wants to plop one in. It will do that sometimes if disused ones close. We'll see. I haven't seen that. I probably should. But we have like $2.5 billion. I think we can afford to expand some stuff. So if we had West Covina connected via Milwaukee and New York, all the way up here to, we decide Peoria or Hollywood's going to be our northeastern terminus. Probably makes more sense for, no, maybe not Hollywood then. They do have that there. No, I don't think we need to be super complicated about it. What might make more sense for the foreseeable future is to start getting the high speed all the way around the outside in actuality. So we have Corona here, which again is, well, it's not really a suburb of Los Angeles, but it's Southern California. There could be a couple other Coronas, but that's the only one I know. We could have the high speed go through here, and then Indianapolis, and then West Covina probably makes sense. West Covina really should be connected to Hollywood, yeah. It is at the very, very extreme end of the map. We'll get there. And like I said, this ends in 2050, so we have a ton, and I mean a ton of time to get all that figured out. Eventually, there's going to be 2 loops, counterclockwise and clockwise for this, so I just have to remind myself of how this is set up. So that's local, this is around the outside, and that's around the outside. Are these not high-speed tracks? Like, I feel like I've been through this a billion times, and I do not remember. Yeah, those are not high-speed tracks. Okay. Why did I not make those high-speed tracks? Because they really need to be, because late game, basically, the only passenger equipment available is high-speed, anyway. Ha. 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 I got you. Where did I catch you live? Yep, it has been a while since I've done Transport Fever 2. A month and a half, 2 months. But we've got some fun stuff we can do today. Just want to make sure. Okay, this is the. Oh, I never connected this to anything. The Corona Quarry. Then Billings South going into that construction materials plant. I never finished this. Okay, well that needs to be connected here and here for sure. Now, which means any sort of high-speed rail is going to be connected some other way here. Let's do this. Let's build ourselves a passenger station on the edge of this. I know this is all the industrial stuff, but high speed is going to have to be on this side just because of, you know, curve radius. Yeah, it's just going to be rough. It's going to be ugly, but we'll fix it. I'll show you guys what we're going to do. Was I doing 240 meters? I can't remember how long our platforms are. That looks like that might even be 320. Yep, it's 320. Good. Sorry to keep zooming in and out. I think I'm going to have long-term 3 tracks is what I decided. 1 for locals and then 2 for everything else. And the local thing is going to be one of those loop deals that we like doing so much. So if we're going to do that from scratch, we might as well start with the 4-track, which if I can remember exactly how I had this set up, should be fine. That'll let me do a 5th one as well. Okay, so if I have this here, that is 4 tracks. I know we have our just ugly tunnel here, but it's fine. This is the way it's going to have to be. We need to have some sort of a what do you call it around the outside? So if we have just between here and here a rough framework of city streets, this could probably be upgraded to a medium, in all honesty. Yeah, I don't want this to be player ownership because I want them to be able to develop it. So I'm assuming if I just, okay, I don't want them to remove all those buildings, but I do want them to be able to develop these things, and I just need to be able to go around and put a station somewhere over here. So let's do this all the way across. It will demolish that, but you know that's the way it goes. I think they'll connect these by themselves. I just need to have little tiny stations, 2 tracks. If we're just going to use the single little rail cars, then I only need it to be an 80-meter platform. That's what we'd done in Beaverburg with these guys here. Yeah, that's just the 80 meters. And that we'll put here, we'll put here, and then we'll put, I can't do it too close to the road. Put right there. I know that might be a little bit too close. Let's actually move, let's move this one further south. Yeah, we'll roll with that. And then this just has to be regular tracks, these inner and outer loops, so we don't have to worry about that. It's gonna be it's gonna be kind of stupid looking, huh? Boy. Did you rename Vancouver to Vancouver, Washington? All right, well let's see what other city names are or are not American versus Canadian. Then I'll probably do that. Do you remember you should do all the junctions and turns with high-speed track if they are tight? Yeah, you are absolutely correct. I don't think the little tiny diesel rail car that we have here is gonna care too much, but just because you said so, I will do that. And then this here, depending on how yeah, see that says collision, not gonna like that. If I come out to this, yeah, see, that's still only 40 miles per hour, which is not a lot. 36 is worse. But that's fine. That's our inner loop. And then the outer loop, same kind of deal. Honestly, I probably should just be building all of the new track as high speed no matter what. That'll go... I mean, these aren't going to go quick here anyway. Alright, so we got inner loop, we got outer loop. This looks absolutely horrific. This is terrible over here. So if I want to kind of smooth this out just a touch. Let's make that brush a little bit bigger. Not that it really matters for anything except like a, a personal point of pride. We'll just make this look slightly less terrible. And then we're also going to, probably have actual high speed go through here. Oh, the station tracks aren't high speed. Oh, what a pain. I forgot that I had to do that. Although I guess for these guys it doesn't matter. But on the outside, yes, I will have to have the tracks at high speed. I don't know that I'm ever going to do an express that will skip. But if I do, then I will need to have that. Alright, and then we also want an underpass, which I guess I can just do on these extreme ends here. Oh, they already had some. Okay, well, never mind. That's fine. Now let's do a clockwise. So we've got there, 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 and there. That is on the correct one, so that will be that. And then we will do counterclockwise. Alright, and that is Corona counterclockwise. I probably should just abbreviate these, but it's fine. Alright, I don't think we're ever going to have any crossover on that for operational purposes, but for actually getting trains on here, we probably will. So, that should be fine. I do have platform on the outside, so I can always connect to another road if I need to. Let's just do... right here is probably fine. Too much curvature, huh? Alright. That'll work as a crossover. I don't think it should ever affect anything because these guys aren't going to be, close enough to do much. But that is a good start there. Let's get this hooked back up. Or not hooked back up, just hooked up at all. What am I going to be looking at here for this? 3 fields will be removed. Okay, well, I'm not really using that farm anyway. But we maybe could reroute it to slightly solve that. Oh, look how awful this is. All tunnels here. If I wanted... this is pretty straight coming in here, but if I just went straight a little bit more this way and then came out here, I think that should be okay. So let's give that a shot, just in case we want to have something else. So that's just completely straight there. I know we're... Okay, what... Alright. This is really stupid. This is really stupid here. Instead of doing that, I know the game just wants to do its best with what it has, but that is just so incredibly dumb. I'm just going to lower the mountain. There's no reason, absolutely no reason for that to be a tunnel. Just completely stupid. Alright. Oh, that's water. I don't want that. There. Well, that's ugly, but it won't be a tunnel, at the very least. So this track here, 3 tracks, I probably shouldn't build off of this first one to begin with, because that was going to be our loop if I ever decided I was going to do that. So that means... Should I keep this second one? I don't know. It's probably going to make the most sense, since I need to take these out anyway, to just put another platform on the outside of this. Let's give ourselves high speed with catenary, double stacked. Oh, come on, click. And then a passenger platform on the outside. Oh, that's our big long train. That's the PA with all the cars. All right. Do we have underpasses? We do not. I don't know that the game really cares, but it's nice to have, you know, everything connected. So now, oh, this is horrible. This is absolutely terrible over here. Let's just smooth this out. No reason for this to be quite so lumpy, bumpy, stupid over here. And then now I can finally take my high-speed tracks and go all the way over to here. So that's moved it out a tiny bit. If I just have this go straight, I'll build the second stub track just in case. And then I'll take this and connect to... Okay, it's not going to let me, not going to let me do this here. Oh, because it wants to do bridge into everything. Why is the game like this? That's one thing I hope they really, really, you know, put a stop to in the new version that's going to come out. Is the insanity of just the way that it does all this. Is that just doesn't need to be like that. If I make this a viaduct like this, it's not really very good now, is it? Hold on. YouTube is auto-filtering messages again. I wish they'd stop with this AI stuff. Let's see. I'm 10 minutes behind on chat. That's how long I've been messing with this. I like this game, but it's a shame it doesn't have such detailed and bug-free railroad mechanics like City Skylines 2. Oh, definitely. Flawless game. I've never had any problems with City Skylines 2. Feels like too small of a loop, honestly. Well, it's not going to be a big city. It's probably never going to get super huge. And if it does long-term, then we'll just fix it. Definitely have enough money to build everything high-speed. Yep. Don't forget to add additional buildings to a big station for better coverage. When we get there, we will. You can update track with update tool, which is in your rail building menu. I didn't think it worked on the station track. That's why I had that deleted and rebuilt. If the game builds a tunnel, you don't want that. Click on the tunnel icon and change it to just change the landscape. Yeah, but the landscape that it comes out, it's going to be really, really ugly looking. Alright, so Kurt said, I'd let them run over the tracks, no underpasses, and YouTube held that comment as offensive. I don't even have the strict setting turned on. I just, you know, don't want people dropping racial slurs and me not noticing it, so I don't know why they're censoring that. So yeah, that's been manually approved. I'm going to move the microphone away from my mouth a little bit. It's probably too loud. Play TF2 like model railways. Well, if I did that, I'd go bankrupt, because then I'd have to buy everything. Trains are expensive, folks. So I think what's going to make sense is for me to just kind of do this piecemeal. Also, high-speed rail is not supposed to have grade crossings. It's just not supposed to. So, I'm just going to delete the road. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So now if I do this, it's going to want to put it on a viaduct. If I come across here, then that's still pretty good. But I need to make sure it's curving that way. I just don't want to take out the farm fields. So if I do that, so where it only does... Yeah, that's fine. That's doable. As long as the slope is good, that looks fine. Alright, and this bit is going to have to be a tunnel to go underneath. That's fine. That's going to keep the fields. Full speed. Comes out right at the edge of the fields. That's exactly what I wanted. And then this goes into this track here. As long as that doesn't look completely stupid, then we're good, and I think this is fine. Alright, so that's going to get Corona connected. We'll do this one city at a time. It's just going to be the easiest way to do this. Now, if I have this just kind of follow this entire thing all the way back to here, it should automatically... What do you mean a field is going to be removed? Oh, it's not gonna play nice unless I just completely hug this constantly. What about if I do this? Okay. That works. So now we have that connected there. I don't remember if I have... Yeah, okay, so what we're going to have to do is incrementally update all of these stations. Oh, hey, Gary, thanks very much for the 35. Appreciate it. Model Railroad Fun. Thank you very much. I think you're going to like next week's video. I did something very dumb. You'll see on Wednesday. I would encourage you, Kurt, not to send any of those for any reason. That's what I'll say about that. No, Gary is from South Africa, not Zaire. Which... Is that even what that country's called anymore? Or is it, Alright, here we go, global geography. Okay. Republic of Zaire, that's why I wasn't sure. Formerly Republic of the Congo. Now called the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Okay, I must have missed a context here. Oh, here we go. You made a good point about landscaping. The game does automatically, though it's close to what people would build in the field where nobody cares. That's true. I actually saw a picture the other day online of a railroad. I forget which one it was. One of the American railroads, maybe Union Pacific, built a trestle, like just a big long trestle in the middle of nowhere, because nobody cares. And then they just backfilled it with dirt. It's like, hey, sure, if it works, it works. Why not? Yeah, let's fix this right here. Because I'm going to put in... oh, I wasn't on tracks. The high-speed, quote-unquote, thing on the outside. It's going to be good. And then the loops aren't going to have to merge here if I move all the tracks over. So I don't see the upgrade thing here, unless you were talking about... Yeah, so now I'm on the upgrade tool, and it doesn't seem like it's going to let me do it in this station. It just has the check mark because I've not hovered over everything. Well, what other stations am I going to have to mess with? Oh, they're all like this. Why did I do this? Why am I like this? I don't know that I'm going to put a loop around all of these, but I guess at some point I probably should attempt to. Anyway, I'm going to make the choice now to just reroute this so I don't have to worry about it later. We'll just bring that out to right about there. Should give me enough curvature not to be a problem. This one I'm going to come back a little bit further in case it wants to do a compound curve. Have this here. Yeah, I see 186 the whole way. That's good. This will get connected there, 186 the whole way. So I think that should automatically update what platform it goes to without any problems. If we get problems, then I'm sure the game will let me know. And then this needs to be moved here. There we go. There is something really relaxing about doing this. It's just very, very pleasant. So since we are already here and we've already kind of made some changes, let's bring this second track around. All the way. Collision with what? What is it caught on? I don't think it was going to be a problem. Here we go. And that's the only two stations I've got taken care of like that. Those are already high speed. That needs to get upgraded. That. Oh, why does the game pause? I don't need to pause the game for this. I think I fixed my alignment issues. Alright, so now that is all high speed. That was already high speed because I built it that way. Okay, so that's good. I'm just going to need to have a train depot somewhere over here. Where do I put my crossover there? All right, so that's going to need to be somewhere kind of close to that. Yes, I will make that high speed too, just because that's incredibly funny. And where is it going to let me attach? Right there at the crossover? Okay. So, in terms of buying vehicles, we do still have the M300. I think that's the only... Okay, hold on. I need to do multiple units. Yeah, that's the only one it's going to... Steam multiple unit doesn't exist. It's not going to get anything else. So, we'll start with one of those. Buy twice. So then this one can go on Corona clockwise, and then this one can go on Corona counterclockwise. I think it should just automatically figure itself out. Shouldn't be a deal. Actually shows your username. No, it shows you as whatever that's pronounced as, yeah, in English. All right. Okay, we got one there. We got one there. Good. I probably should rename these. Let's say we'll just call it CW, and then this one could be CCW, if I can spell correctly, counterclockwise. All right. So maybe this will induce some demand. Maybe it won't. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. We have to do our round the outside. And I should probably actually watch more Dragon Ball Z before I keep all that. All right. So first stop, second stop. First stop is now no longer. You know what? I'm just gonna completely demolish all of these and just start again at Corona to Vancouver. Did it pick the right track? It did. And then that is Paterson East, Norfolk, Hollywood, and Peoria. And then back to Upper Hollywood, back to Norfolk, back to Paterson, back to Vancouver, and then Corona Central will be what it's going to be. I think this should be fine pathing-wise. So now I get to check and see what is on... Oh, I guess this is working out fine. So I think because we reset the route, all the passengers are just going to go away. That's fine. This vehicle may need to be refreshed, but I don't have anything better to put on here. I think in the late 60s... Well, I know in real life it was the late 60s. We get the Metroliner. The Bud Company's attempt at high-speed rail in the U.S. But I don't know when the game gives us the Metroliner. M300 isn't great. There's a real cool European one called the Red Arrow. It's 25 capacity, goes 125 kilometers. Yeah, I haven't played with all vehicles enabled basically ever in this game. Had I, known that there were so many better options available, I probably would have turned that on. But this one is very squarely North American only. Wow, Steven, thanks for the 20 bucks. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making a place where I can avoid the constant advertising onslaught. Yeah, I try. I try real hard. I know YouTube inserts ads, and sometimes it's a little overzealous with the automatic ad slots, even when I take them out. But yeah, I just want to have fun playing games. I'm not trying to sell mattresses or whatever. Not on this channel, at least. But I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for the support. Let's see, where'd this guy go again? There we are. Oh, this track isn't even high speed. I never updated it. Okay, we can fix that. Now I got, the movie Holes? Dule Hill plays the love interest guy in that flashback scene. That's his line is, I can fix that. It's like, I don't know why that's like the one thing I remember from that movie, but that's the way it goes. So that is all high speed that's connected there. Good. So that should go a little bit faster. I think these, okay, I lost it. There we go. This locomotive is capable of going decently quickly, but there's so much weight behind it, the acceleration is bad. Do not buy my mattress. I bought it at IKEA like 8 years ago. It was real cheap. It's probably about time for me to replace it, honestly. They say about every 7-8 years. But it's still clean. Probably. Yeah, that's one of the other reasons this is going to be a great route for high speed, like actual high speed trains, which in the North American pack you basically only ever get for true high speed. You only ever get their answer to the Acela 2, which they call Speedance something because they couldn't get the rights to use it, which is an Avelia Liberty, which is a French design variation. But it only goes 186 miles per hour, and I know the French have very famously made some very fast trains. Do you sleep in it in the summer? Well, it's my bed, so I sleep in it every night, if that's what you're asking. Drink water, it's good for you. Alright, so train is almost full. We're getting there. We're going to see exactly how full it gets. Okay, now that's already full, and then there's already people waiting, so... Yeah, this will be great when it's actually 2 complete loops. Oh, there's people using this! Good, good, good. Excellent. Okay, well that's empty. Pay no attention to that. And next up, I'm going to have Indianapolis, which has basically nothing going for it. This construction materials plant is so close to Indianapolis, I feel like this should just be for Indianapolis, but I know at some point... Oh, wow, we have so much. We have so much that it's losing stuff to overloading. Really? I did not think that was going to be a thing. Yeah, we just need more buildings. I know that's not going to be really sufficient for us to, you know, take care of everything, but we'll just do our best. That's all you can do. It is pretty funny seeing these in whatever pattern I apparently did, main building versus side building. I'll fix it at some point, but these things disappearing because they're overloaded is not great. We're getting all of our... no, we're not. That's probably why. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I know we have all these mixed freights and everything. They're not completely full either. Serious question, don't feel like Googling. What is catenary? Catenary is just the term for the wires that trains, electric trains, at least, draw power from. So that's, I don't know why they named it that, that's just what it's called. But they pick up power from this. If it's an electric train via something called a pantograph, it's basically just an arm that comes out of the top. I don't know that I have one I can show you. Unless, hold on. Paused. Nope, that's a steam locomotive. One of these has that electric one. Okay, this guy right here. This is a pantograph, the thing at the top, the arm, and it's, in theory, it contacts the catenary, draws high voltage power from there, and it goes into the locomotive. And they're going to have a different one depending on a direction of travel that will be up and based on the polarity of things. But that's how that works. I've actually only been to Indianapolis, I think, once. It was okay. I have an amazing idea. Shuttle for bricks. Yeah, well, that's what we've been doing for a lot of these factories, is I will have a shuttle specifically from this machine's factory. This is Plank Supply. That's the wrong one. Plank Supply. Where's my other... Okay, that's the Machine Supply Express. So this train, its only purpose is to go to this factory and back and forth to the hub. That's something that we'd been doing past couple episodes. Works like trams in cities. Yep, exactly the same principle, except slightly different kind of rolling stock. Again, YouTube, please stop holding comments that aren't offensive. No, pantograph. P-A-N-T-O. There's no Y. Shuttle like the small car that goes around the city. Oh, no, we're trains only. Otherwise, I would have already done it. Yeah, this playthrough specifically is only trains, no cars. Isn't a catenary the shape a rope makes when hanging from 2 points? I don't know, but that sounds right. And also would work for this because of how the poles are set up. It's just a straight line between 2 poles. And I haven't thought to take a look. When this goes across... Okay, so this isn't quite realistic. In real life, this would be actually connected side to side, and they would be suspended from the middle, in most cases. Car, I mean train car. Oh, okay. I mean, we probably could put one on this loop, but the way this is set up, I don't really think that's that big of an issue. So if I just go to this screen, it's going to show you exactly what everything wants here, and this is all in range. Like 99% of it's in range of this one cargo station. So I don't think, strictly speaking, it's necessary. Why are there so many people that want to take this clockwise shuttle? Okay, but this isn't even full. It's about to be, so I'll tell you what. This one I'm going to modify to add a second, just because it's so popular. This will still be very full, but there's no reason to have 3 of these. And there we go. You are now live on your channel. Thanks for letting me know. I had no idea. Gotta love YouTube sometimes. This one's full also. I'll tell you what, just because we've already done that with the other one, I'll just make both of these a double. Instead of increasing frequency, I'll just increase the capacity per each, because I don't have a way to have both of these going in one direction at once, because this is a single track. It won't be forever. This will be fixed to have additional whatever, but that's the way it goes. I want to take a clockwise shuttle because I want to go to from the big station to the city. Well, this is the main station, the only station for passengers here to get to the outside. This one goes to one other town, but it doesn't go toward the entire thing. This is just here to here. That's it. Did I... What train did I put on this? I do not remember. That's freight. I guess we'll find out. I guess it doesn't really matter what kind of equipment is running this. I'm just curious because I do not remember. Of course, now it's going to make me look stupid just sitting here for the next however long. I don't remember what station that was connected to. Oh, here it comes. Oh, that was the New Haven one. That's right. Okay. This is the paint scheme for the New Haven Railway. Railroad probably is what it's actually called. That's why I called it a big boy. Eventually, this is going to be replaced with a Metroliner when we get those. But I think it's still going to be a couple years before that happens. I'll probably honestly replace most of the passenger trains with Metroliners if I can. Does this have a playlist? Yes, all the everything should have a playlist. It might not be featured on the front page of the channel, but it will be under playlist for sure. Alright, how are we looking here? Waiting to go to, what, 94? Oh, this absolutely has to get completed as a loop sooner rather than later. Okay, so Indianapolis, little tiny town, in this game at least. Does not need a road coming down this way. So what I will do is, I suppose, put some roads in here. Just have this go... Nope, come on, road. Just do one of these. And I think I'll just automatically complete this. Won't be that big of a deal. I'll give them a little bit of room to grow here. Get that hooked up there, get that hooked up there. And then that will go straight there. Don't worry about that. Then I will put in some train stations. So, 2-track little commuter stations. Just round the outside, as it were. That'll go there. That'll go there. That's, they're not getting bricks anyway, who cares? That'll go there. And then the main station, 4 tracks, 320 high speed. Right, like so. Should be fine to connect to here. And not interfere with this mess, depending on how I want to run all of my tracks here. Because this is going to want to have a way to get up to this side, and I hadn't really come up with a good route for that. If that is what we're going to do here. Honestly, I'm going to need a freight station anyway. Let's see. Yeah, so all that stuff's on this side. Probably what might make the most sense is actually to come over here to maybe this station and put in a freight platform on the outside. Because that will still... I just have a high-speed freight train probably not happening. We just do standard tracks for that. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cargo platform all the way down this side. And that will reach, if I click on... Oh, come on. I don't want that. Stop that. Okay, that'll reach everything as it is right now. And then I don't think it's going to be a problem to have a cargo building and somewhere over here. Oh, I'm going to have to go into the station to actually build that. Cargo building. Ow. So I'm going to want this to actually hook up to something. Of course this doesn't want to go here. So I can't put this here, it's going to block the tracks. Okay, so this is going to look really stupid, and I'm going to need you guys just to be good sports about it for a little bit. I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to put that platform there. The reason I'm doing that... Oh, come on, seriously? The reason I'm doing that is so that I can have a connection there, closer to where all of the rest of our stuff is. So, if I click on this, which I already had, every building that could possibly be industrial is connected to that. And then the cargo trains aren't actually going to stop here, but because this is the same station, it's got a cargo platform attached to it. Anyway, it's fine. Metroliner 1969. Okay. Okay, no, don't believe anything Kurt says about my past. He just makes stuff up. Sometimes it's actually really funny. But I just need you guys to understand that none of that is real. I let the inspiration flow through me. Leafcoat's got a massive update. No, I just finished the playthrough. Okay, well, I did say we're going to do a video series on those guys, but the way things are going, I think that's probably not going to happen until early next year. I could be persuaded differently depending on how things go. But, should be interesting either way. Okay, so this freight platform here is for the purpose of connecting to our main hub, which we will do at some point in time. I just want to make sure that was built before things got too crazy. Then I need to take this off of upgrade mode. Oh, I forgot these curves are too tight here, but those little tiny shuttle things, it doesn't matter. Okay, that I definitely do not want that going that way. So let's come out to here, and let's do that. I know it's a really, really tight curve for seemingly no reason, but it's fine. This connection goes to Billings, and I'm not going to be that worried about it. We'll be alright. But I do think I will take that segment out. Okay, that's still too much curvature. We'll go a little bit shorter. Alright, jokers. Get this road out of here. It's cramping my style. There we go. They can connect through this other side since that already has... Oh, I already disconnected that to Corona. No, that wasn't going to Corona. Alright, well, nope, come on. Okay, so what I will do, I know I'm not building roads for me to use. This is just for the benefit of the citizens of the towns that I am completely destroying with my my nonsense here. Just put that road there, and then that road there. So they still have a connection. They won't complain about it. I know there's a bunch of these up here that are angry. We'll have to do that at some other point in time, but I'm just trying to get this connected so we can go about our business. Run that straight that way. Run that way. That's fine. And this here... Ooh, too much curvature. That's not... Really not going to like that at all, huh? Okay, well now the problem I'm going to run into is I'm going to have these tracks go all the way out here. So that'll work there. I do not know that it's... Yeah, it doesn't like this. It does not like this. Okay, so what I need to do is figure out the shallowest possible... Oh, yikes, that's rough right here. That is the shallowest possible curve I can do. That is... that's a problem. I'm going to have to modify this to have more length up this way. I know there's so many frustrating things happening here. Appreciate your patience and your tolerance of this. Let's do cargo platform here and here. And then I will take 2 off of the end because that is... going to be necessary for us to be able to build this. That's... Oh, this is hideous, but it's fine. This was never about beauty. It was only ever about just having something that worked. So maybe that will play nice here. Yeah, okay, good. Alright, so that's the outer loop on that corner done. This should be pretty simple to go here. Yep, and it is. Same kind of deal here. Same kind of deal here. And then the actual platform for this doesn't go until there. Alright, so we have a clockwise, counterclockwise, so on and so forth. If you remove all the roads, they must take the train, giving you profit. Yes, but then they get very angry. Town authorities complain about the following interrupted street connections. Well, you can take the train for forever increasingly ticket prices. They're just going to hate that. You know what? I'm not going to spell out Indianapolis. They get Indy, just like the cars. That is clockwise. Yes. And then we'll have this going the other way. How did I manage to do that? Or are we having SUV discourse? Absolute disaster vehicles. As someone who drove one for most of my teenage and adult life. I really enjoyed driving my comparatively much smaller, much more fuel-efficient car at this point. And yes, Europeans, I do get 28 miles per gallon on a tank on the absolute best scenario. I know that is laughably terrible, but I had a Ford Explorer when I was in high school. That got 16 miles to the gallon. I don't know what that is in liters per 100 kilometers, whatever your measurement is, but it's bad. Oh, I know you got a smart car. Yep. Different vehicles for different use cases. Not everyone can use a tiny car. Not everybody should use a tiny car. But I'll tell you what, these guys driving around with these giant pickup trucks that never haul anything, never do anything with it except just get right up on your bumper at 3 a.m. with their high beams turned on. They don't need that. You don't need that. Yeah, you would, if you get in an accident in the U.S. in a small car, there's a very good chance you will die. It is just basic physics, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people have big cars. 28 miles per gallon, yes. Just be aware that in the U.S. that is very good for a car, like a sedan. Or when this car was new, it was. Yep. For reference, it's a Subaru. So, little four-banger boxer engine, all-wheel drive. Decently fun to drive for an underpowered car. But I need to put in actual trains here. I'd have to have this connected to something somewhere. And I guess it probably doesn't really matter. But if I just pop this in here, I think that should connect fine. Whoa, that is... Ugh. Oh, that's awful. I hate it. Let's do it. Let's get 2 of those. This one go to Indy clockwise. This one go to Indy counterclockwise. And since the whole mess is here, why is that not... Oh, is it not going because the path is blocked? It's going to complain that the path is blocked, isn't it? There it goes. Okay. So if I go to... Not the train depot. I have so many train depots. Alright, Indy clockwise. That's what I said I was going to rename this. And then here we go again. Okay. They can make you buy more and pay more, they make more money. Yep, you got that right. Gotta advocate for yourself. Like, call out... When stupid stuff happens, you gotta call it out. Just be nice to people. I know corporations don't care about that, but we can care about each other. That's what matters. Yeah, diesel engines in small cars are really funny to me. Like, I know it's so much more efficient, but it's just really, really funny. Because in the U.S., the whole thing with the diesel is like, all right, well, you got a guy with a giant truck who, like, you know, maybe he does something for work, or he has, like, a big camper, or he hauls horses around or something. Yeah, you need that. You actually need a big diesel engine for that. It's much more efficient. They got good torque, good pulling power. But you basically can't buy a small car in the U.S. with a diesel engine in it. Not anymore. Volkswagen, infamously, with their TDI stuff, got bonked by the EPA because they were lying on their emissions stuff. They had to buy back all those cars. But I think that the Jetta with the TDI in it was like 50 miles per gallon or something, which is really, really impressive here. Yep, and there you go, the diesel Jetta. Yep, I knew a guy in high school who had a I don't think it was a diesel Jetta, but it was just one of those regular ones. Nice car. I mean, if you can afford to keep up with VW maintenance cost, but oh god. Okay, Kurt, that's maybe a little insensitive, but I understand what you're saying. Let's get Indianapolis hooked up to Corona here. So this is the main track we're actually working on, and I have to thread the needle with this mess because we have all of these right here. Oh, here's a fun thing we could maybe do. Dramatic height difference between this track and this track, but it's going to have to go up a little bit. So that is a tunnel that comes out from... Oh, wow. Why is this a... Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Like, what is this? What kind of garbage is this? You'd get laughed out of every design meeting ever if you proposed building this. No, you're good. It's just, I know, like, people have different standards for, like, humor and things, and I know that's a pretty terrible disease that a lot of people have had to deal with at some point, or known people who have had it. Try to be as respectful as I can. Let's do this. Let's do this in segments so it doesn't try to do something completely stupid. Yeah, see, that comes out there. Should be fine. I don't want it to make a big viaduct until I get to here. And if I tell it to just, you know, not do that, then it might not want to play nice depending on how I route things. So that's just laser straight. We don't need these roads, so we don't need to worry about that. Just gonna try to have this not be completely stupid looking. A little stupid's okay, but sometimes, you know, it's just too much. Again, no level crossings with high-speed rail, but they don't seem to care, do they? We can have a little bit of a bridge as a treat. We can climb the hill. It's not really that big of a hill, that's fine. But now when I go across here, I am going to want that to be a viaduct. Which it seems like that is going to work out fine. That's actually kind of ugly, and that's also not the right thing here. I wonder... Yeah, that's going to have to be a tunnel if I go that way, but if I come this way... Okay, better idea. Let's start from this station and go out here. I'm trying to keep this as high speed as possible. So 186 is our maximum track speed allowed here. That would put this more or less in a straight line to come here. But now I want to see exactly what this radius is going to look like if I did that. Okay. Now if I start here and I connect to this, I don't think it's going to want to let me do it. Yeah, it says collision there. But that would keep it at 186. Okay, so now that we know that's possible, let's bring it back up to here and just cross there. Ah, yeah, you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So this is going to have to be, that goes into a tunnel. I'm going to have to raise this up, which there might be just a tad bit high. But if it lets me go across here with minimal weeping and gnashing of teeth, then I think that's going to be worth it. So just a simple bridge. As long as the other one can also do that at that distance, I think it should be okay. Then that gets connected all the way over to here. Now, how did that do this bridge? Okay, I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. But now that this is in place, that bridge is only 112. Oh, because I don't have the concrete viaducts yet. Okay. So we absolutely do not want to have this if we can at all avoid it. So seeing how that has been done, I know I'm going to have to... Hold, what happened here? Oh, it's going to just do that to me, isn't it? That looks ridiculous. I can't really do that now, can I? That would have to be... That would have to just be all tunneled, but I can't really do that. Okay, well, this isn't ideal for right now, but it does work. It will exist, and that's fine. We'll have to do the concrete viaduct at some point in the future. So they will have to slow down to go over that bridge. That's not really anything we can do about it. At least not at this time. I will go back and read chat in a minute. I've just been in train mode this entire time. What is happening here? Oh, is this going to be one of those stupid things where the tunnel doesn't want to play nice again? Okay, no, it actually widened the tunnel. That's fine. Alright, so now Corona is connected to Indianapolis. And then this is going to have to come all the way around the corner to West Covina, and that's going to be its whole own thing. But now we actually have to come in and fix round the outside once again. Can I reorder stations? I don't know that I can. No. Alright, I gotta think about this. Yeah, if you have the ability and you live in a place that supports it, rideshare is fantastic. But that is very much not a realistic option for a lot of folks. Like in the US, would be completely out of the question. Alright. So that's coming through here. And I know it's kind of dumb to just redo this every single time we put a station in, but keep in mind, a lot of stuff happens between when we build each station, so it's worth it to have this still going the entire time. And Corona comes in there, and then that is the origin of the line. So that should just automatically snap to it. Indianapolis does have people riding little transport things. About 8 years ago, I did a summer of rideshare driving, and they had this thing. This was like right around the time Uber introduced Uber Pool, and then Lyft had some other name for it. But the people would try to be real slick with it and say, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Can you just not pick this person up?" And like, no, if I don't pick people up, I'm gonna get fired. Like, and then they get all mad and leave you bad reviews. It's like, you picked the shared ride. It tells you when you order it that it is a shared ride. It's cheaper, and you just think you can get away with something, but no. Okay, so here's our train. Coming in, nobody on it because the route has to start from brand new. Let's just follow this around for a little bit. Trying to make it so I don't have to go deaf from the diesel engine noise, but yeah, see how slow this is accelerating? Metroliner would have already been at 160 miles an hour by now. Probably within the next couple of minutes we'll have the Metroliner, because it'll be 1969. I don't know exactly how fast I have this set. Is it... There's some sort of speed. No, it's not going to tell me unless I click on it. 1/4 speed. Okay, well that was kind of intentional for it to be slow. Alright, load them on up. How many people are going to get on this? 42. Boy, this train's dirty. Absolutely filthy. Now, I would imagine when we get over here, this is really going to fill up. No, Vancouver has grown substantially. I still need to check and see what other city names are on the map. No idea what you guys are saying, but I hope you're having fun. Can you find one of the trains you said had a big engine car and say you're... Oh, God. I really ought to pre-read these messages before I start. Ha ha. Very funny. Come on, autosave. Why did I get another email about being live on my channel? Like, you told me already. I understand. I am live. Hello. Good to see you. We're doing train optimization today. This stupid city that I always complain about actually has high rises now, which is interesting. So the train is still not full. It is, it's not even half full, technically. Half full would be 95. But I think once it actually completes an entire trip, then the numbers should get back to where they were. By that time, we may be able to replace this with the Metroliner. We will see. Alright, so end of the line. Everybody's going to get off. I don't think there's going to be that many people who get on here. Wow, okay. Never mind. 108. But they're going to go to all sorts of different places on the other side of the map anyway. That doesn't look like French. At least not any French that I know. I mean, I don't care if you guys talk in other language stuff here, because obviously I can't read it, but just don't be dumb. Alright, so now who is going to get off here? Why did I build this like this with the... Okay, so the train's full and there's still some people waiting. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. That means when we have the fast train that has slightly less capacity than this but goes substantially quicker, should be okay. I don't talk to Skystorm. I've never interacted with him, but yeah, I watch his videos. I know he's back making Space Engineer stuff. Yeah, so this is still very full, and probably will be. Once these are 2 loops, it's going to just be so much better. There's going to be so much efficient transit all over the place. I do not get angry when you watch other people. I very frequently say, please do watch other people. It is not a zero-sum game. It's only limited by the amount of free time that you have. So, watch whoever you like. I don't know how many people are going to get off here. Wow. Most have gotten off here. Alright. Oh, no. I know about the pardon my French thing. That was a joke that I guess missed the mark. I am very curious to see how many of these people go all the way to the very end, and then we'll go look at something else. But I think, yes, West Rail Westfleet. That would be the Amfleet car. Thank you for trying. And there's your Metroliner, 120 miles an hour. Although in real life, these would go much faster than that. Or they could go much faster than that. The game just limits what you can do. So we'll let this do its full, complete lap. Okay, 167 out of 190. And then I will swap this one out for the Metroliner and then maybe give it some extra cars. Although I don't think it's super powerful in this game, so I might just have to put 2 Metroliners together instead of putting Amfleets on them. So I don't really know how they were able to use Metroliner, which was definitely a trademarked thing, but they couldn't use Amfleet or the Acela or anything like that. Alright, so how many getting off here? Come on, autosave. Okay, decent bit. 200 kilometer an hour train in Serbia. Well, congratulations. Wish we had those here. Well, technically, the new Acelas in the Northeast corridor can do the hardware. The actual, locomotive train set thing can do 186 miles per hour, but it's limited to 160 because of poor track condition, poor track geometry, etc. Almost there. We're almost there, folks. All 79 people going to get off in Indianapolis and then get on this thing once I change it over to a Metroliner. Go to electric EMUs. This will hold 78, 4,300 HP. I'll just put two of those back to back. Take all these old nasty coaches away. Alright, so it's going to cost me $45 million to put two of those on there. Oh, now the cost is going up. Interesting. Alright, so it's got 156 total capacity, but you're going to see that this goes a lot faster, a lot quicker. Yeah, I'd like to go on the Trans-Siberian Railway at some point. I mean, obviously not right now with the geopolitical climate, but hopefully at some point before I die, people will stop being dumb. Then I'll be able to actually go visit places. Alright, so that's completely full up. You know what's interesting is the paint scheme they put on this is basically Amtrak Phase 4. Almost to a T. I don't think the front looked quite like that. It might have had the actual Amtrak logo on it, but obviously they can't do that if they don't have the license for the trademark. Well, I know it's never going to stop, but it may change in a way that makes it less dangerous for me to go there with an American passport. Which I do finally have, by the way. I was very surprised at how quickly I could get it. So maybe if, stuff works out, I may be able to do some traveling next year, if I can afford it. I don't think I can fit 3 of these coupled together, but 2 of those for right now is probably fine. Alright, so we're going to let that be what it's going to be, and take a look at other things that might make sense. Like this right here, we got the, that's the Hub Fuel Express, Mixed Freight, Food Express. Which one of these is the... Oh, that goes between here and here. Is it in the station? It is not. Now it is. Alright, so this is like the perfect use case for something like a Metroliner. So we'll just do that. Nice and fast. Other passenger train stuff. I know I've got this corner-to-corner mess. Let's go... What's it up here? Concord to Vancouver Passenger. I clicked on the wrong one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All these need to be replaced. Oh, some of these even have the old heavyweight coaches. That's gross. That's so bad. Alright, I've got 4 of these. I don't know why they're not in order. I think I'll start with just a single Metroliner unit for each of those. That should be a whole lot better. A whole lot faster, at least. What place would you like to visit first outside the U.S.? Well, probably Canada, honestly, because it's the easiest one to get to where I actually speak the language. Well, I don't speak French, but I'm assuming most Canadians would speak English, even in French Canada. I try very hard not to make specific political statements as much. I obviously have my opinions, and you have yours, and we don't have to agree. That's okay. Well, some stuff is non-negotiable, but I try very hard to maintain a pretty clean online presence, so I'm not personally that worried about stuff, but I think you can understand what I'm getting at. I've been to, when I was a kid, I've been to the Bahamas. I've technically been to Mexico, went to Cozumel. That was on a cruise excursion. Outside of that, I was looking up prices for stuff. It's actually cheaper for me to fly to Japan and spend 2 weeks riding trains than it is for me to take Amtrak between Chicago and LA and back. Because the one, assuming the sleeper accommodation or whatever, because it's like a 3-day trip. The one way Chicago to LA in a sleeper car is like $1,500. And the return trip's the same price. Round trip to Japan, one of the Tokyo airports from here, is $1,500, and then because the dollar is so strong against the yen right now, you could, if you were real frugal and you stayed in like hostels or whatever, you could like spend like a week just train hopping and going around seeing various things for like less than $500. That seems pretty appealing to me, honestly. I did not ignore your invitation to be a guest in Serbia. I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to get to Europe, because Europe's very expensive. The euro is stronger than the dollar currently, and flights are almost as much as going to the other side of the Pacific, and then expenses are substantially higher. So we'll see what happens. Also, the entire allure of the Japanese train system is extremely hard to ignore. Okay, so that's looking fine there. I probably should actually upgrade more of this stuff. I don't think I have any new freight locomotives or anything available. No, that's the GP9. I would not want to take one of these at 65 miles per hour, I'll tell you that much. That'll go 117. These are fun little tiny diesels. We have the late game stuff for freight. Never goes any faster than 75, so it's not like the top speed really matters, but the power does. Tractive effort, all that. So 64, almost 68,000 pound-feet. I know Europeans are like, what kind of unit is this? Don't worry, we don't know either. But this guy, the big boy, is still absolutely the best option for freight at the moment. Won't be forever. The Serbian train system is worth seeing, but for other reasons. I've seen some videos on some of the stuff in Eastern Europe. It's interesting for sure. Let's see. Oh, I know you're not the EU. Don't come to the Netherlands. The trains are way too expensive. Well, I'd love to go to the Netherlands just because, you know, it's the Netherlands. But I have heard that trains in Europe are very expensive compared to other places. All right, I need to continue expanding all this. We need to get... Oh, hold on. The steel mill is going to close. I don't really care about that. That's fine. West Covina needs to have trains. Where am I going to put my station? Because this coming in this way, you might think it would be best on this side, but based on the track geometry, it might actually be better to come around here and then go up here to connect to Chattanooga, Port St. Lucie, and then Concord, and then go across the north, San Diego, and Peoria. Okay, that should complete the loop pretty nicely. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to have this round the outside. I need city streets. Medium street. Let's go here. You know, honestly, any of these cities I probably should do a circulator. Probably should do a circulator. So I will just square this off. And that will go here. Okay, it doesn't look like a horrible abomination or anything. Then I suppose let's make a nice square all the way up. Oh, that's horrible. Okay. Well, you know what? That is what terraforming is for. Let's soften our terrain. Get nice and even here. Or as much as we can. Yeah, just clean that up just a tiny bit. Alright, so our main train station will be on this bottom side. We've done this so many times before. Yeah, that'll be fine, just like that. 2 tracks, 80 meters for the rest. I guess I'll put that there, put that there, put that there. Now, this is going to be some pretty ugly trackage here when we go to build all of this. Too much slope. Yeah, tell me how you really feel. You're gonna make me build a cog railway or what? Oh, no, that works. That works just fine. Why was it complaining? Okay, so that's gonna require straightaway out of here. I wonder if it's gonna try to tunnel this. Construction not possible. Man, cry about it. Come here. Nope, construction not possible. Alright, they want additional straight here. I can't see what my... There we go. I just want to make sure it stays at 186. Not that it really matters. Ooh. 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 Okay. Well, now that I know it's going to do that, I can just connect that back up. It looks a little bit better. All right, this should automatically... Yeah, that's tolerable. It's fine. Plane ticket is like 2 locomotives for the railroad channel. Okay, they're not that expensive. Like a good quality, brand new HO scale locomotive with sound and the digital command control is probably going to run you around $250 to $300. Diesels, at least. If you're buying steam locomotives, forget it. You're going to go bankrupt because they're incredibly expensive. But you can get a serviceable, brand new, like DC, like normal, just hook it up to the power and go, you know, computer chip or whatever, for like $100 if you know where to look. And if you buy used on eBay, you can find stuff really cheap. Indianapolis to Moscow. Why are they doing a direct flight from Indianapolis to Moscow? Oh, I don't think of Indianapolis as an international hub at all. No, but because I live in the South, every flight, and I mean every flight going anywhere of actual importance goes through Atlanta. In terms of, okay, this looks terrible. International flights. So it doesn't really matter what it costs from somewhere else, because no matter what, it's going to have to connect through Atlanta. And since that's where I am closest to, then what is happening with this? then I'd have to go through that airport anyway, no matter where I was gonna. Well, okay, all right. No. We're not playing this game. I need this to actually, you know, connect to something. 38 should be fine. We'll do a little bit of terrain grooming. I just need this to work. This as a tunnel is just heinous. That's fine. There we go. Okay, West Covina. Clockwise. Now before we get out of this, I'll just put W Covina. Don't need to make everything super complicated. Counterclockwise. Alright, and then we're going to have a crossover somewhere. I just keep putting these here because it's convenient. Too much slope. Too much slope. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, well, I can have the one there. That's fine. I just have to be able to get to both sides at some point. So what I will do is just pop that there, put our little train house connected to it. And because I have no other option, it would be such a waste to put Metroliners on that, but we'll see. Just get 2 of those. Rename these first, so I don't have to worry about it. Alright, so counterclockwise is going to go on counterclockwise, and clockwise is going to go on clockwise. So then that one can do its thing, and then this one is going to have to do... Probably start at that station and go the other way, would be my guess. Yes, okay. So now this is going to be interesting. I know this might not make sense. You maybe think I should have put it on here, but it's going to make the turn going around this side be more advantageous without interrupting things. So let's see. I'll do this outside track first. If I just draw a straight track, the route that it takes, 186, 186, oh, now I have the cement bridge. Good. Well, I don't know what kind of, okay, leaving the station not at 186 is fine as long as everything else is. Oh, this is hilarious right here. Is that still 186? Yeah. Alright. That'll work. I just have to have this connect to this track here. And I don't know why it defaults to that. We'll just... There we go. Alright. Cool. And yes, I will have to redo the entire outside thing. Yeah, Atlanta traffic is terrible. Not only is the road layout extremely bad, but nobody knows how to drive, and there's no alternative to driving for most people. Even though we have a decent heavy rail, not technically a subway for all of it, but it's basically a subway. It's okay. It just doesn't really have that much connectivity between various places. I took it for a while when I lived in the city. It was fine, but a lot of places you just can't use it. Our traffic is absolutely horrible. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different pre-clearance type stuff you have to do to get into various countries. BEG. What airport code is BEG? Belgrade. Okay. That's what I had assumed, but I didn't want to be wrong. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to change the train routing until I have everything else hooked up. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to... Oh, I'm going to have to rebuild these. It's not going to let me do it without just rebuilding the bridge. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, concrete 186. Why is that one 181? Why is that 182? Why is it? Well, it's not going to get to that super high speed there anyway. I guess it doesn't really matter. But that is very strange. Okay, so that takes care of that. This same kind of deal. Shouldn't be a big deal. I maybe, if I had done this slightly differently, could have kept this not being a elevated track. I could just do that. Yeah. That's kind of an unnecessary bridge to have anyhow. So that goes there. That's fine. Where's the next bridge on this outer ring? I might not have one. The rest of these might be okay. Nope, that's regular. Okay. Outside of getting across here, there's a single track. It will be double tracked. I know now this train is like, oh, I don't have anywhere to go. It's going to be alright. Don't worry about it. Okay, anything else elevated? Nope, not for right now. Okay, that's fine. Are people actually using the West Covina shuttle? There is someone on there. Just click a bridge to change. Really? Okay, well, for future reference, that'll be handy to have. I will probably forget. You know how this goes if you've seen my videos long enough. So now we've got to go to Chattanooga. Chattanooga's an interesting city. I believe they were one of the first places in the U.S. to have municipal broadband in terms of internet, which I thought was kind of cool. And let's have this go all the way to here, all the way across. I know I'm just dramatically altering city layouts for the sake of, you know, easy train building, but you know how it goes. Alright, so that's going to be our new Chattanooga thing. We'll put in passenger stations first. That one there. Oh, that's going to be hideous. I'll put that, I guess right about here is fine. That'll go there. 4 tracks, 320 meters. I'll go closer to this side, should be okay. Make it a little easier to make tracks, that's fine. Alright. High speed to here. Doesn't really matter that much. That's fine. This going here says it doesn't want to. That's not possible. Thanks for literally nothing. Okay, let's go around. Still not possible, really? Alright. Let's... Okay, first of all, what kind of... No. Get out of here. And that's not going to go there unless I make this longer. Okay. 36 around the corner is fine. These aren't going to go that fast anyway. Ooh, that is hideous, first of all. Now if I connect to that, that'll be fine. That's going to be fine. That connects, not quite. There we go. Alright, so that's inner loop. Outer loop gets a little bit easier. Yes, this landscaping is horrible. Yes, we are going to fix it. Just give me a moment to get this whole thing set up. We've done this song and dance before. I'm not going to spell out all of Chattanooga. Alright, you know the drill at this point. I just have to have somewhere where I can get the tracks to cross over. And then I have to have somewhere where I can just put an engine house. Alright, get that. Come on. Come on. Rotate. Can you rotate for me? Can you? There we go. Now, I don't think that's going to be in the way pathwise, because that's going to have to come around, come out of the tunnel probably right about there. Alright. I really wish that this North American set had more of these little things here. Alright, counterclockwise goes to... I just scrolled right past it. Clockwise goes to clockwise. Those guys can take care of that. Alright, what did I miss in chat? Yes, the e-gates. Well, I want somebody to stamp my passport, though. That's like the whole fun of having the passport is you get them to, you know, put the stamp in it so you can look back and say, hey, I went there. That was neat. I don't know if any countries still do that, though. It's been, I think a while since they started introducing all that stuff. Alright, so that's the inside track, and I want that to hook up to here. What kind of route is this giving us? Okay, so inside of that curve is 120. Wow, really? But the rest of this is 186. Alright. And that comes out there. I guess that's fine. We can do some terrain modification, unless I forget, which I kind of already did. I'm going to say that this is fine. Okay, what is this colliding with? It shouldn't be colliding with anything if I have this set correctly. Maybe it was just one of those weird things that I have to just kind of monitor here. Alright, so that comes out there and then goes there. Alright, so that's connected on both of those. Yeah, that sounds like a really good way to go to, like, forever prison if you start doing stuff like that. Alright, wait a second. These aren't even... Okay, it doesn't really matter. Because this is underground, we're not going to see it. But that's weird that it's separated like that. Okay, yeah, that's strange. Alright, so that's West Covina, that's Chattanooga. People are actually using this. Port St. Lucie, a small place in Florida. Don't know why they've got a thing. I'm gonna take this out. Once again, building roads terribly. Now this one goes all the way up, so I'll just I'll go around this way. You know what I probably could do is make these actually round roads, which would make it easier for us to have our train stuff go around it. But what's the fun of that, huh? Let's have this go up to conditions very bad. Well, that's what happens. This comes around to here. This here can go there. This doesn't need to be connected. Not using roads anyway. Okay, buildings. No, I want train buildings. Okay, we have our main building still. That's coming in that way. I'm gonna want this to be... Yeah, see, I don't need to have this road here. I'm gonna want this to be right about the middle here. We also need to make sure that these cities are gonna have a place for the freight to come in too. That's going to be important, so I should make an allowance for that. So maybe this station is going to have in between that stuff. All right. Yeah, let's start this with 2 platforms right here in the middle. Or maybe the freight should go on this side. Yeah, freight probably is going to need to go on this side. Yeah, so this will just be as normal. But this one over here, 2 tracks, and then the very outside track can be for freight. Because I think that's going to connect pretty nicely to depending on how I want to do this. Yeah, this house will just completely go away. That's fine there. All right, let's modify this. So this can be a just regular track here. That's fine. Since this is on the outside, it's not really going to matter that much. But I am going to have a cargo building to attach to all of this, just so we can service as much as we can. Installing Transport Fever 2. Congratulations, and I'm sorry. So, enjoy your newfound brain rot, I suppose. Where does this road go? Goes to Chattanooga. Okay. Well, here's what's going to happen, is this road is going to go away, and it's going to instead connect over here. Let's give this a medium country road. Taking somebody home. Get that done there. And then I have to continue extending this cargo platform this way. So that's 6. This will be 7. No, that would be 5. That's 6. And then that is going to be 8 if I do this way. I think that should be okay. I just need to be able to put a maximum length freight train in there. Okay. So now it's time to get these hooked up. This is going to be a pain, isn't it? Yeah, it wants to cut the corner real bad, huh? That goes into... Oh, that is... choice, whatever that is. I need to have the outside one done first. Just need to make sure that can get in. And then that has to connect there. But it has to connect to the other side, because that's not going to be... Ugh. I've made a mess of this. Okay, so that has to go there. Then that has to go here. Okay. As long as the freight track can get through this, then we're good. That's going to say construction not possible because why? Is that because of how this is connected here? It almost certainly is. Alright, new plan. Take this out. Take this out. I need to make sure I connect the outer ring first. That's what I should have done this entire time. So, it's just not really advantageous way to do this. So if I go out like this, it's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to get. Let's get that out of here. Okay, why did it do that? Why did it do that? Stop that. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. Why is it doing that? Alright, so let's try this. Oh, that's worse. That's worse. Ugh. What about that? 31? No, now it's in the way of the road. Yeah, this happens. I always heard Stellaris was good. Stellaris, whatever it's pronounced as. A friend in college who described it to me as Space Racism Simulator, which is concerning. But I don't know enough about the game to say whether or not that's an accurate thing. Okay. That's just going to have to be good enough, because we are running out of time and patience for this. It's alright. It's alright. I just need to make sure that the freight can go by. That's going to have to work. Pretty much. Oh, yikes. What? So do you end up doing, like, selective breeding or something? Or, I don't know, just... Like, in the context of a game, obviously that's very different from real-life socio-economic things, but I always just was like, why would you enthusiastically, like, try to get me to play something that you then refer to as Space Racism Simulator? That's just like, why are you like this? Alright, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Alright, so that is now a full, it's not a full loop. Ugh. Okay, I need to stop doing this to myself. I need to just use the curved roads around the outside. Alright, now we finally have that. Okay. Make sure it goes to the passenger platform. I'm not spelling all that out. PSL, there you go. Pumpkin spice latte. There you go. Can't pronounce words. People still drink those. I know it was a huge thing like 10 years ago. Okay, this is probably going to be the best place for a crossover here. No, it's not, because that's where the freight goes. Crossover goes over here. Concord now demands goods. Well, you can't always get what you want, so, you know, just think about it. Think about it. Maybe you might get it before the end of this series. Maybe you might not. Alright. Oh, no! Oh, I can't buy that anymore. Oh. Oh, that's terrible. That's awful. Am I going to be able to do anything? I mean, I could Metroliner. Oh, I think that's too long for a 2-segment platform. Man, this is too expensive to run for something like that. These are also really expensive. Little tiny. Oh, it's so tiny. It's so tiny. SD40-2 can duplicate old ones. Yeah, but not on the. They're not on the same network. They're not on the same network. I'd have to have them in the same train depot. Well, at some point. No, you said that like 3 times, but I can't duplicate something that's not in the same depot. Like, none of these are connected. Alright, so like I go here. If I duplicate this, it's gonna be on the same line. You can move them. Okay. So if this then goes to the depot. So that is there. Now, how do I... No, I'm not connecting every single everything. That's not worth it. That really is not worth it. Like, that's what I was thinking, is that you were going to say I could just ship it off to a different depot entirely. Yeah, it's going to say there's no connection to do this when I try to do that. Yeah, unable to find path to stop, so that's not going to work. And there is no chance I'm going to be able to put these around the entire outside loop. It's absolutely not worth it. There's no way. This would take me like an extra 2 hours to do this, to go to every single city. There's no chance. Like, I would just have to just do that for every single one moving forward. And I have all these cities over here. It would take like 5 in-game years. Like, I know eventually I'm going to get like commuter cars. Oh, I should have. No, the loop's not connected. The loop is not connected to the other loop. Like, and then there's already trains going on that. What a pain. What a pain. I wish it didn't get rid of vehicles. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. How cheap is this? 800,000 a year. Connecting everything via the outside loop quite easy. Well, in practice, it's easy to connect everything, but then you have to go and signalize the entire thing because I already have trains running on this. And if one train is in a block, then no other train's going to be moving in that block. Roll the clock back. No, you can't do that. Anyway, I'm going to attempt to commit science here. Not that any of this really matters. So that's 18. This little locomotive and these two cars only cost $8 million to buy. I know the other one's a lot cheaper, but... Inside Spall train thingy. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say there. Like, I can almost, like, assure you that there's no universe in which that is going to be worth doing. Also, I didn't consider that there was a farm in between these two. Okay, what's happening down here? That's kind of ridiculous. Well, for the time being, I just need to connect this. I guess we can argue about that later if we really want to. 4 fields will be removed. Okay, so if that's going to let me do that, then I can just come out here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try to find our way around this. I'll do the closer one. So if I can get all the way to right about here, I think that should be fine. Assuming the other train is going to fit. Yes, it will. So then going into here. Okay, so it's got a kink there in the middle at 130. That's not going to work. So we will need to move or remove a couple of fields, I suppose. But 2 fields. Keep this at no lower than 150 something is probably okay. Although I suppose I probably should try to see what else this will do. That's 3 fields, and that keeps it up to 167. If I take one more segment out, 174. Well, it wouldn't be going that fast anyway, and that's about as best as I can do. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, bring this around the outside here. And that will go into there. Alright, so that works. Concord already has the cross map thing. That's going to be helpful to have that interchange there. Oh god, the water lock. That was a pain. How many more of these do I have to build? San Diego, Peoria doesn't have a loop. Peoria was never designed to have a loop. Oh, this is a disaster. This has a loop, kind of. It just is an out and back, but I guess that's probably fine. Just have the one. I can always make it longer. Does not have a loop. Has a loop. Vancouver does not have a loop. Not everything has to have a loop, though, right? Well, the main goal I had for today was to get this entire outer ring taken care of anyway. This already has a passenger station here. And that's the cross one. But this isn't going to be a good place for us to put the loop one. So that, to me, says this station is going to have to be reconfigured. I'm going to have to put in... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This thing is going to get curved there. Is it 8 segments? Is that what we have here? Yes. Okay. Well, this one should be fine with 6. Just need to make sure I have my platform set up right. So what's going to have to happen here is we're going to have loop platforms, and then the cross-country one's going to need its own So that's this. And then that one could actually be extended, depending on how we wanted to do this. Yeah, because that's a double track, and it probably doesn't need to be. Probably doesn't need to be 2 platforms. And then, anyway, loop, and then this is all this station needs. And then we can have a separate station if it's connected to the same loop without issue. So, is there a train over here? I don't know that there is. Don't think so. Alright, so this is the switch here. That is going to have to be modified. Going to have to take that out, take that out. That is one piece of track. Okay. So now this has to connect underneath here. I think this road can easily be removed. It's serving no purpose. This just has to be out of the way. Okay. So that'll go there, that'll go there. Let's get a single thing into the tunnel. Just have this connect directly there. And then that will connect directly here. Guess this is about as long of a approach track as I can. Alright. Alright, well that is where the signals are. I guess they can be fine to stop there. But I probably could and should move them up to as close as I can get. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll just get rid of these. No, not the tree. No, not the tree. I want signal. I want the signal to be... Okay, don't care. Now I need to have the actual station that we're going to have the outside connect to, which means I need to have streets. And this is going to have to move. And I did say I was going to stop being quite so dumb with this and do the curved roads. So why is this the way that it is? There we go. Yeah, I'll just connect that to there. That can go to there. Where's that road go? Nowhere important. This can be removed. So that can connect there. So now they got that outer loop to build a station on. That can connect there. Make it a little bit better. That can go away, that can go away, that can go away, and then I can get that connected to there. Okay, this goes nowhere of consequence. Goodbye. No, I want that to come out straight. Come on. There we go. Now I can finally take that out. Take that out. I did say I need to have this theoretically connected somewhere. We'll figure that out after we put stations in. Alright, we need the big station. 4 tracks. High speed, 320 meters. That's going to come in from here. If I put it toward this side, right at that end there, then that should be okay. I'll build more roads. I just need to be able to make this turn around here. Okay. 2 tracks. 80 meters. Although maybe I should start building them longer. I don't know. How long am I going to go for? I was originally planning on 2 hours, but now I just want to get this entire outer loop done, so I don't know, maybe another 20 minutes. Why are we talking about GMOs? I lost track of chat a long time ago. Okay, so now this going right here, is probably fine. I know this is close, whatever, but track connections are going to be an enormous pain in the butt if we did it any other way. Even after all that, it still doesn't want to play nice. All right, that's fine. It's fine. I just need to not care about this anymore. Okay, so this needs to get disconnected. We already knew that. This is going to be some weird kink thing going on. That's fine. This here is going to not... Oh! Well, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it. That's going to be fine. Though that is very funny seeing that come out like that. This is probably not going to do... No, it's not. Okay, so come out 186 here. Not quite. Not quite. Is that still 186? It looks like it is. Now connect this. There we go. There we go. Nightmarish terrain. I'm glad I don't have to drive that train. Alright, there's your loop. Your conquered loop. Awful, horrible, just ridiculous loop. This depot won't need to exist anyway because we are apparently going to do weird things with the moving everything else around. Okay, so that connects here. Collision with what? Okay, the mine. We can work with that. We can work with that. That just needs to get zoomed in. So let's come right up to the edge of this. And all 186, right? Good. These roads don't need to exist. Take that completely out of there. Alright. Now I can get this connected. That was the interior track, right? Yes. Okay, 186. Is this a stupid tunnel? Yes, it is. Well, it's fine. I would also like to point out that we have spent unbelievable quantities of money and we still have twice as much as we started with. The economic simulation in this game is kind of bad. Although I think we've established that. Okay, so that's there. This should allow me to connect that. Alright, so that's conquered. That's fine. Since we are already here, you already know, it's time for the loops. And then the other one. Alright. Then we'll just do the forbidden thing when the time comes. We just need to make sure these have crossovers in relevant locations. Okay, that connects there. And just to make this slightly less terrible, I'll just make that connection there. And then I'll have to do a similar thing here. Does this have a crossover anywhere in it? I don't know that it does, but now it's going to have at least one. Okay, and that's going to come from Chattanooga, which already has a crossover there. And we'll need to have a thing here. Alright. Not the best thing I've ever done. It's also probably not the worst thing I've ever done. We're just going to have to be careful about how these things connect in the future. I think everything else should be fine because they already have everything. San Diego. Peoria's pretty close. So this is where the cargo station is. Oh, crap. I need to make sure I take that into account. Our main hub is here. And this track goes to there. Oh, okay. I can't wait to just do all that, so. Oh, it'll get something. We'll worry about cargo later. It won't be that hard to build around it. Okay, I'm not going to worry about Miramar. San Diego doesn't seem like it wants to have a loop. But what I will do is I will build one anyway. 4 buildings will be removed. Well, that's what happens. Welcome to progress. That's going to go there. Medium street try to get this not to look completely stupid. We can have that go outside of this station, or what I can do is I can actually modify this to have tracks for the other loop stuff. If this is just a passenger platform here, that'll be pretty simple. I just need to have a passenger underpass to another passenger platform on this side, where I can then put a passenger building, if I can fit one. There, that'll work. Don't think it really super matters, but that's fine. That'll take care of that one thing, because this track is not going to ever go up this way. So then the perimeter tracks will just have to follow their way around here, which seems like this would not be a bad place to put one of these guys here. There we go. We'll do this. So 1, 2, 3. Then the fourth one can be up here. This can just get connected directly. Let's have that come out like so. It's a little rounded, but should be fine. And that could just go straight into the end. Okay. Boy, this has been something, huh? There we go. That's going to be fine. Just do that. And this is going to have to cross over the freight rail, but I'm not really worried about that. I think long term that should be fine. I just need to be able to get through this. And since this is already going to be kind of a weird scenario, actually, you know what? Maybe I should have the freight go on the outside. Now, why did it hold that message for view? I genuinely hate the yellow watermelon. Yellow watermelons usually aren't good to eat, so I don't know why that would hold that back. Okay, now I've missed so much stuff. Oh my god, Kurt. I'm definitely not reading that. Alright. So here's what's got to happen here. I should not remove this entire station. But what I can do is I can shift all of this around without actually demolishing the station itself. And I just demolished the entire station, so that is, I guess, technically still the same station. You know what? This is already going to be super impossible. I'll just rebuild it. Okay, so 2 tracks here. I know this is all freight stuff. We're gonna take care of that. Don't worry. I just have to have this in a way that I can actually, you know, do something. Come on, stop. There we go. All right, so now I have passenger platforms here. I'm going to have cargo platforms here, and then the cargo platforms are going to extend. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm going to have cargo platforms on either side of this so that I can have cargo buildings, which I think I can get away with putting one there. And I can put one of those there, but that's not going to get connected to anything. What if I did... No, that's not going to work. What if I did... No, that's also not going to work. What if I did this? No. Alright, close enough. That'll be fine. Now I just have to have an actual track for the cargo here. Okay, now I'm assuming if I do this right, just take about the middle radius of the curve, standard tracks, again, we don't need to worry about high speed. Okay, I hope that automatically fixes itself. If it doesn't, this is going to be very annoying in a short order of time. I'm going to make that go that way so I can still have clearance. Okay, now why is that a problem? It's colliding with the building. Okay, that's kind of weird. Don't know why it's doing that. But that will connect, so I suppose that's okay. As long as this makes it through, which it looks like it does, then we don't have a problem. Weird, inexplicably curved track. Gotta love it. So this going here is not going to play nice unless I get out of the way first. There we go. Get that popped in there. Oh, this is going to be horrible. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's awful. And that is going to work there. That's going to work there. All right, San Diego. You got a loop. Oh, man, you know what I was... I was going to... Oh, God. Oh, I was going to make this not completely horrible. Concord coming this way. Going to go across here. Yeah, I've got to, I got to modify this station. That was the entire thing I was going to be doing. Okay, okay, passenger platform. I cannot go that way. All right, let's see, that's 2, 4, 5, 6. Where's this road going? Okay, literally nobody cares. Get out of here. Get that out of there. Okay, so that's 6 there. That's 7. That's 8. I think that's about as good as I can get. Oh, that needs to have a platform on it. Okay, has that already got a thing? It does. Oh, this is so ugly. It's so hideous. That's the way it goes. Okay, now this needs a second track for both loops. If someone who actually knew what they were doing saw this, they would be just absolutely beside themselves with grief at how awful this is. Fortunately, for all of us, I do not know what I'm doing. So let's just make this not quite as terrible. Don't know. Yeah, it's definitely going to go underground. But the important thing is, it is a station that will work. Now it's time for more loops. It's everybody's favorite thing. Oh, this is like kind of like a potato shape. All right, so that works there. Now I just have to get these connected, which is going to be hopefully not difficult. Remember, we have to go on the outside, and this wants, for some reason, to make this a... Okay. That I can actually understand being a viaduct, because it's impossible to change that. That needs to come this way. I'll probably thread the needle to go through there. Right outside of that, yeah. Let's just get rid of this road. We don't need any of those. That's the correct thing here. That probably should, if I can manage it, get to a point where I can get just about complete high speed. But this close to the station, there's no chance it's going to actually go that fast. So now if I do this, oh, it's going to hate that. Okay, that goes right through that. That's not going to work. This will be 186 the whole way. And then, where does this start? It's a tunnel. This does not need to be a tunnel. That's completely ridiculous to make that a tunnel. We don't need that. Okay, because that's solid 186 right there. That's going to be fine. Let's bring that across. How close are we to the platform? That's going to be fine. Same kind of deal, just right across here. That'll be nice going in there. Collision with what? Okay, so this is going to have to be a bridge. That'll be fine. Bridge pillar collision. Bridge pillar collision. Cry about it. What is the bridge pillar colliding with? Is this too low? That's probably what it is. It's too low. All right. They're gonna make me do stupid math here, huh? All right, fine. Fine, I'll do that. Send that way. Then this will just have to be brought up. Now, is that gonna play nice? Looks like it is at the full 186. I have definitely seen worse in terms of train bridges. That will just go very nicely adjacent to it. Now, what was this complaining about before? It's not complaining now. So that's okay. That's fine there. This will be another bridge going into this. But that's good. Alright, so now we're connected to San Diego. And then Peoria will be the final connection on the double loop. But now we have to rebuild the Peoria station. This is also freight. What we're going to need to do is take this out, sandwich the two lines for the thing into the middle, and I think that's going to make the most sense. We may end up having to substantially reroute some of the existing lines here. Take this all the way back out to there. Okay, so this is going to be really complicated, this passenger station here, because I'm going to have the tracks all be super long, even though it's only going to be whatever. So we have two, because it's also going to be freight. I've got to have an extension on it. Okay, let's start with that, because it doesn't really matter where it goes. I'm going to have the... okay, hold on. Why is this not... There we go. The middle one for freight, because that's how that's going to come in, which is going to need to have its own freight platform to function properly. And then on the other side of that, it's going to have to be a passenger platform. Although I guess I could have... Tell you what, I'll do it this way. Cargo platform. Should still connect just fine, but then we're going to do passenger platform here. That absolutely cannot happen that way. You can tell my brain's already starting to get fried from this because I'm making really stupid, simple mistakes. We will end here in a little bit. But what I needed to do is have this platform here. Then... two banks of tracks. And then on the very outside, one more passenger platform. And again, I don't think it really matters where these get placed, but I will do them anyway. Alright, so now I have to put a cargo building. And I'm assuming it's just going to let me do this without having another platform somewhere. Seems like that should be fine. Oh, I see chat going. I probably made a mistake. Let's see. Okay, you guys are just messing around. Sometimes they like to make weird jokes I don't understand. Alright, that is going to be fine there. Now it's time for more loops. It's everyone's favorite activity. That is a very fake trombone glissando sound, coming from not a trombone. I guess I'll just put that here and that here. Am I on curved mode? I am. Okay. Not that this really matters. I just need to have somewhere to put some sort of something. This is stupid. Why is this here? Where's that even going? Oh, that's going to San Diego. They're going to be mad if they don't have that. Alright. I will do that there. Oh, that is horrible. Ugh. Okay, I can't leave that. Cannot leave that there. There, we'll do that. This I will connect here. This doesn't technically need to exist, but yeah, you know what? Why not? And then this, I suppose, can just be a regular country road that we'll have to have our... Oh, that's a horrible intersection. There is no way, there is absolutely no way that would fly. It has to connect to an actual road. Okay, now, the moment none of you have been waiting for. We need to put in more of these things here. I suppose this is probably fine. This side here is probably fine. This side here is probably fine. Alright. Now, high-speed tracks. Construction, not possible. Yeah, we've ever heard that one before. That's fine. This one should be... Oh, there we go. There we go. Now that has to connect to there. That has to connect to there. And that has to connect to there, which it will. That has to connect to there. All right. And then I need a crossover somewhere in there. There to there. Now I can finally connect San Diego to whatever this is called, Peoria. All right, we at 186 for the entire distance. It looks like we are. Is the tunnel really stupid? Not super stupid, no. I connected it to the freight track. Okay. That is somewhat easily fixed. There we go. Okay, now why is this not... Okay. Alright, so that's done. Now it's in Peoria. Now we have to... Oh, I'm going to have to redo every single one of these. Why did I do this? I think this is... You know what? I'm not going to do a loop. I'm going to leave this because, you know, Hollywood's weird. It's a little bit of a strange place. We can have that just be weird. That is the only road connection between those two. Alright. But the road is laid out very inconveniently for... Oh, okay, that was a bad move. I guess I'll just get rid of that. Definitely don't need this. I'm going to have this relocate to the other side. Get that tiny piece out of there. Okay, country roads. Get us out of here. We'll go by way of this mess. Oh, that's a train station. I can't do that. Ugh. Oh, it's so ugly. So ugly. No, this is exactly what you signed up for, isn't it? Just watching me fumble my way through this. Okay, so this can come across here. That... Why does it not just default to straight off? Okay. Alright, finally, after just enormous quantities of suffering, that is going to probably be fine. Did I... Oh, how convenient. That's already going the correct direction. I guess this is fine as long as the track geometry is okay. If it's not, then who cares? So because that is showing a platform there, I think what I can do is I can then come into this station. And I can take this nonsense out of here. And then just have those two tracks be right next to each other, because that's going to make a little bit more sense, the way that this has been set up. And I cannot upgrade these, so I do have to demolish those and rebuild them. But it's okay, because life goes on. That is not the correct place for that to go. Okay. Passenger platform here. Where's my underpasses? Oh, I built underpasses all the way on those. That's kind of stupid, but it's fine. Platform top there. Alright, now at least it doesn't look completely stupid. It just looks mostly stupid. Alright, so that's the outer loop. Now I have to come in this way and match this. Oh, God. I don't want to redo all these. I'm not going to redo all of these. Actually, this one's fine. I forgot. So for our purposes here, until I feel actually, you know, like redoing all of this, I'm just going to have them separate like that. It will do absolutely nothing bad to this. Okay, so that's double tracked. That's double tracked. I redid that one. I redid that one. I think, folks, we are done. Could not connect all stations. Well, around the outside is about to get completely redone. So where do we want to start around the outside? How about Vancouver? This is clockwise around the outside. Why does that now connect that way? Okay, I guess that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And the next one is Vancouver Central. So that should be around the outside clockwise. And then we start again going the other way around. Is that on the correct track? It is. Good. I don't know if the ridership on this is going to be very strong, but it does need to exist, so everything else can get taken care of. Is this still on the correct side of the tracks here? Okay, why is that sharing? Why is that sharing a track? Why is that sharing a track? That should not be. Is that because of how I did this with the signaling coming out of? Yeah, these are all. They're all sharing the tracks. They're not supposed to be doing that. I guess we'll have to fix it. West Covina, Indianapolis, Corona, and then Vancouver. All right, now I've got to change to platform 4. Could not connect all stations. Okay, Indianapolis Central is on the wrong platform. Okay, these all honestly just need to be changed to platform 4. I don't know why it says. Okay, so that no longer has that there. What about... Okay, Hollywood was the weird one. Actually, they're all weird ones. That is at the correct one. That is at the correct one. That's also correct. That's correct. Peoria's correct. This one, Upper Hollywood, is correct. So what's the damage here? Why is this... Okay, Norfolk Annex is at the wrong track. 3, okay. Which I didn't even think it was going to be possible for it to do that. Let me come over here. That is at the wrong track. That needs to be track 4. Okay, why does that have this now? Unless I did the same thing with Vancouver. That's probably what happened. Okay, Vancouver Central needs to be 4. It still says it can't connect all the stations. So why... This should not be going both ways. Why is that going both ways? That's only 3 tracks there. Ugh, jeez. Alright. But why... And more importantly, where is it going between the 2 tracks here? Because I don't see why it would be doing that. Am I just going to have to restart this? Corona Central. Why does that not want to connect to anything else? Because this is counterclockwise. Vancouver Central. Okay. We'll start here. And the second one goes to all the way up here. Here. So that's still going that way. It's at the correct side. Again, there should be nowhere for them to actually swap sides. That's all going the correct direction. Okay, Norfolk Annex is 3. It's probably because I didn't redo all of these stations. That's what I get for trying to, you know, save time. Okay, this says Peoria doesn't like track 4. Ah, because it's track 5 that I did not know existed. Okay, but that still is going both ways. So now why is this an issue? So then San Diego Annex, which should be track 4, because there's only 4 tracks. So then what's the deal with that? Concord is next. This is separated because why? That should not have separated, but whatever. Okay, Concord is the correct track. Do I just have stuff in the wrong order? Like, these are all the correct track. Like, I don't see this going anywhere else. So this is Port St. Lucie. Yep, we already knew that. The next should be Chattanooga, which it is. The next should be West Covina, which it is. Next is Indianapolis, which it is. So why does this still want to go back? Corona Central. It doesn't want to connect here to here. So did I make some sort of a mistake getting this hooked up? This track goes all the way. Does it not connect in the tunnel? Is that what it is? Because this absolutely should be going all the way to Corona Central. Okay, add station. Yeah, but that needs to go to track 4. Could not connect all stations. Why? What is the... Why is this on this other track up here? It shouldn't even be possible, because now Indianapolis Central says it's on the wrong thing. Okay. Oh, is that because I have this connected? I told you I didn't want to do that. And now this wants to go... This just reassigned every single platform? Are you kidding me? No. No. No, this is stupid. This is incredibly stupid. It should not even be possible for these to be on the same... You know what? Forget it. No counterclockwise for you. It is clockwise only. Now this is going where? This is just going to go all the way to Vancouver. Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to read all of chat. One segment is still single track. Which one? Oh, I missed a ton of stuff. Alright, so now we're in Vancouver. We're going to follow this all the way around the outside and make sure this actually works. And I guess we can inspect the track on the way if we go into engineer mode. Oh, look, there's a little dude in there. Oh, but now because I'm in engineer mode, I lost the ability to look at chat, or scroll it at least, so I guess we will just find out what happens here. Ah! Aha! Aha! Well, that wasn't supposed to do that. That was the game playing a very mean trick on me. All that annoyance, and for what? So why was that like that? It should never have done that. Okay. Well, that certainly would explain the very, very annoying problem that we have had. Okay. So I was about to say, like, how in the world is this getting on the other side? Because there shouldn't be anywhere where that's even possible. Okay, now if we zoom in, good. Good, it's on its own separate track. Hey, DC-10, that's KLM livery. All right, round the outside. Did I capitalize the in this? It doesn't matter. R comes after that. No, I did not. Oh, God, where did this go? What happened to this line that I was... Okay, there we go. It was still connected. Around the outside, counterclockwise. Alright, now, because I know we're having just so much fun doing this, I need to connect somewhere this to everything else. So if that goes here, and then I have a crossover here, then I can have another set of this. Okay. Double Metroliner goes on around the outside counterclockwise. And it should be able, in theory, to just get on here without signals. Okay. Very good. Now I can finally scroll chat again. Well, the thing about loops is they're always there and back again because it's a loop. So naming them separately, I don't think accomplishes that much. Oh God, what have I done? I need to get these things duplicated. All right, was it Chattanooga that had one that was actually able to be? I think it was. Okay, is there one of these in the depot? There is. Okay. Now what I need to do is assign... Oh, God. What... Okay, not Chattanooga. Port St. Lucie does not have any of that, so I just need to do this. This is going to cause chaos, because I have not signalized any of this. Oh, that's right. It's a pumpkin spice latte. That's what it was. Unable to find path to stop. Very good. That connects there. And I have a crossover somewhere. Or I should. I'm actually unsure, but that's the Chattanooga depot. I just need to make sure that connects to there. And this is inner loop would be clockwise, so I know that would work. It's probably because they can't go around this way to get into that. All right. Yeah, it's not gonna let me get away with this. So I need that to go. Too much curvature. Okay, so this is where this is gonna get really stupid. Are you ready? Oh, come on. Seriously? That was already the tightest curve it could do, huh? Oh, I just... That's already connected there. If I delete this, what happens to the vehicles inside? Cannot delete it. Alright, and I can't move them because they can't reach anything. This is why I didn't want to do this. Okay. They have to be able to go up this way, get to the inner loop, and then in that inner loop, exit to go to here. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. See, it's not going to be able to turn around. It has to be able to do all of that. Okay, now if I don't use the high-speed track, I'm going to get a smaller radius. That doesn't seem to want to let me do. No, that is the smallest radius. Oh god, this is horrible. I can't. This is already the tightest radius. I can't make this any smaller. The other direction won't work. I can't get rid of this, or else it's going to go away, and then I'm not going to have one to duplicate. This is terrible. This is absolutely horrible. If I have this goes around here, it's on the inner loop, or I guess the outer loop. No, the outer loop goes the other way. Inner loop comes around this way. If there's a crossover, okay, yeah, I just have to have another crossover here. And then, nope. What do you mean too much slope? It's the same track. Oh, come on. Crying about it. Get out of here. Alright. That. Give it more space. What do you mean construction's not possible? We just did this. Okay. Now I got to cross over there. And then I just have to... Oh, come on. Then I just have to have a track to go into this. Okay. If that does not allow this to work, I'm out of ideas. Okay, PSL clockwise, PSL counterclockwise. Then what else? Concord. No, not all of them. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. So this is going to be hilarious watching these stupid little things drive all over the place. San Diego clockwise, San Diego counterclockwise. It's probably just going to be backed up forever because I don't have any signals. Okay, and then Peoria. Oh, I don't need them in Peoria. I just have extras. Okay. Well, look at these stupid little things. 62 miles an hour. Oh, look how awful that gradient is. Whee! And this guy has to go all the way around. Oh, now they're getting greedy. Now they want all this stuff. I don't even have freight connections. Oh, God, this only took me like 2 hours to do. All right. I believe everything that has needed to get somewhere has gotten to that somewhere. Maybe. Unless they're all waiting, because I don't see anything in Concord here. They're probably waiting for the big loop train to pass. Okay, that's the one that was going point to point. But I don't see these little things coming over here. No, I have it set to come over here. It's just they haven't made their way. So I think they're waiting. Yeah, they're waiting on this thing to get out of the way. And then after that, they'll make their way around. Yeah, these guys are waiting for a free path. That's the problem. Which is another reason why I really don't like doing this. Because it turns into a very complicated circumstance of nonsense very quickly. Yes, honk. Express your displeasure. Is this going to fit here? There. I think that should allow at least one of these to do its thing. And that one, I think that's the one that's got to cross over. I hate signals so much. Such a pain. There we go. So we should have, as soon as that goes in... Well, I thought it was going to go in. I don't know what you mean use the other track. That one's not going to turn, is it? No, because that's just the regular one. I don't know why it's not. It should, even without signals, that should have been fine. Oh. Well, that's stupid. Why did that work? Alright, whatever. Oh, that one's not going to go until this gets into this other station, is it? Nope, it is not. I thought for sure that would have worked at this point. So now why is that one stuck there? They're on separate tracks. It shouldn't care. I did! There's a signal. Why are you yelling? It's already there. Are you talking about that? Talking about this? I didn't think that was going to matter. This is still stuck here, by the way. Yeah, it completely lost me. That better fix everything. I'm sick of dealing with this. Alright. There we go. Now I have to check and see... how's this doing? It's 140 something. Okay, what about counterclockwise? Okay, they are both operating. And they are not full. Signals aren't that hard, you say, after having to hold my hand for like 5 streams of this with the signals. I promise you, my brain just does not work this way. Alright. It is 5 o'clock. I probably need to go and do literally anything else or my brain will explode. But we did manage to get the entire loop around the outside done, both directions, and most of the same cities have some sort of ring-based transit at this point. So I think we can consider that to be a pretty good success. And it's in 1974, which means sometime soon we should be getting better locomotives. I guess the SD40-2 is fine. Passenger-wise, this is basically the only other one we're going to get, except there's a commuter car that will come at some point that has a higher capacity. But outside of that, we'll get the Acela in, I guess, 2000, maybe 2001, and then the Acela 2 in, I think, 2018 or whatever. I can't remember exactly what year that comes out. Oh God. Okay, signals on a physical model railroad are, in theory, not complicated, but in practice, really hard to do, because you have to have logic boards or a computer or something controlling it. But yes, this is a good spot to end. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. I know it's frustrating watching me fumble through this. My brain just does not work the way you think it does. We'll have another one of these at some point, hopefully soon. I got an absolute ton of stuff I've been doing the past couple weeks. I guess you'll find out in fairly short order. But I've been super busy, have not had a whole lot of time to stream, have not had a whole lot of time to even do videos, but I've had to keep doing those anyway because I just have to keep doing those. So, we'll see what happens. Take care, have a great rest of your Saturday or Sunday, wherever you are, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.